What's good, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This is Mark coming back at y'all again. And y'all, it's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning from where I'm staying at. So but I still wanted to do a video for y'all. Just to have something up for the night. And plus, I can't get no sleep. So I figure since I'm up, I might as well just do a video. But anyhow, I'm just coming on here, to basically talk about Al Green and do a vocal analysis about him because I was just on the computer under Ilovearethafranklin Franklin's channel, and I was able to look at his vocal range video that he or she did for Al Green, and I was fascinated by his voice. Like I'm kind of like a semi Al Green fan. Like I like some of his songs, like "Let's Stay Together" and "Still in Love with You" and stuff like that. Those are my favorites from him. Especially "Let's Stay Together." I love that song. But anyhow, I just wanted to come on here just to do a vocal analysis on Al Green, because I've been studying his voice closely, as I was looking through the video and stuff like that, study his lows, his highs, his mid, his mid register and everything like that. And, that's what I basically wanted to get up here and talk to y'all about. And of course, y'all know I've mentioned this before. Y'all know I'm not a professional or anything like that. I'm not a vocal coach whatsoever, and I'm not an expert. I'm just going by what I think and from what I hear with my own ears, and I'm just going by based on my opinions. And of course, y'all know how I do these vocal analysis. Like identify the people's voice types and talk about their musicianship. And I don't really get into technique too much because just like I said before, I'm not a professional. Like I don't say things like, "Oh, well, this person is singing, lifting their soft palate too high or too low, or raising their lyrics and lowering their lyrics and stuff like that." I don't get all into that stuff. Like what I do is just basically, listen to the person's voice, just to see what their voice type is, and listen to like when I identify a person's voice type, like I listen to their timbre, which is the color of their voice, the tessitura, the area that they're most comfortable singing it, and their passaggio, which meaning and passaggio means basically the breaks and shifts of a voice, how a person responds, to when they hit certain notes and all that stuff. Like areas where they excel in and areas where they diminish in or don't really do as well in. That's basically what I'm gonna be focusing on tonight. But anyhow, so with that being oh, and by the way, I got my notes on my phone. So when you see me looking down, that means I'm looking at my phone and my notes. But anyhow, with all that being said, I've came to the conclusion that Al Green is probably most likely a lyric tenor. And for those of you who don't know what a lyric tenor is, it's basically a tenor with like a lightweight voice. Like it's not strong, but it's not heavy. Like it's not as big or powerful as suspense or dramatic. And for those of you who are not really into music like that, like I recommend y'all go into Wikipedia, look up voice types. To see what a soprano and a mezzo and a tenor and a baritone is and all that stuff. I recommend y'all looking at Wikipedia, just to look up different voice types, just to figure it out for yourself. And and by the way, some of you may disagree with me about Al Green's voice type. Some of you may think he's a baritone, but I personally think he's a tenor, most more, or to be specific, a lyric tenor, because Al Green, like we all know Al Green is famous for being a soul singer, but I don't think his voice is soulful, but it's not, to me, it's not very powerful to me. That's just my opinion. Like it's still kind of, now don't, and I'm not taking anything away from Al Green. Like he have a strong voice, but it's not, it just doesn't. I'm trying to think of something. Like his voice doesn't really knock me out or anything like that. like his voice isn't really that big to me. His natural voice anyhow. Like, and he is a soul singer, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but just from hearing his natural voice, I just think his voice is still kind of light and not overly light, but it's not very strong to the point where it can feel like it can knock you down or anything like that. At least to me, and some of you may disagree with me and all this stuff. In fact, I know most of y'all gonna disagree with me. When I say that Al Green's voice isn't overly powerful, even though he is a soul singer, and he's basically well known for being a soul singer anyhow. But yeah, I think that Al Green is the lyric tenor, and if he was in a choir, in a male's chorus or in a men's choir, I would probably place him, have him as second tenor because I don't think his voice is that high enough to be considered to be a first tenor. So that's why I would place him in a second, with second tenors, as a second tenor. Now, now that I got all that out the way, I'm just gonna talk about his musicianship and how he responds to low notes and or how he maneuvers his notes, like how he hits them and all that stuff. And I got them all on my phone right here. So here we go. Okay, started with his lower register. His lower register, like it's okay, but it doesn't really. He has some good lows, like some of his lows, like from like C sharp 3 and F sharp 2, like there were a couple of good notes, the low notes, and um E2 like and F2 like um those are basically vocal fry notes. And for those of you who don't know what a vocal fry is, it's basically a technique that singers use, when they're trying to sing low, but it sounds like they're belching. If that makes any sense. Like how when you be trying to hit low notes and you can't really hit them, it almost sounds like you're trying to belch or something like that. That's what a vocal fry is, and that's what I feel that Al Green had did in some of his low notes. Is was doing vocal frying. Like on notes such as E2 and F2, and now his mid belting register or his mid chest. Um, Now even though I do prefer Al Green singing in his mid register, in his mid range, and I think it's a stylistic choice for him. And on Al Green singing in his mid register, like I don't think his mid register really it's not as strong or it's not as resonant. Like it's not what's the word I'm looking for? Like I feel like his mid range don't really project as much and it's not very resonant. And also from E4 to C5, which is his full chest voice, that's when those are the notes that he mainly hit in chest voice is E4 to C5. And after C5, like once he gets to like a C sharp 5 and above, that's when he starts to sing in his mixed voice, like on hitting those extremely high notes, not a full chest voice, kind of mixing chest and falsetto and stuff like that. If that makes any sense at all. For those of you who don't know what a mixed voice is, that's what Al Green does. After he hits a C5 for full chest voice, and once he gets to like a C sharp 5 or whatever. And not to mention on some of his belts, like some of his higher belts or mixed belts, like he tends to squall, kind of like how Fantasia does and the Clark sisters do when they be squalling and growling and stuff when they be trying to hit these high notes and stuff, especially in their mid register. That's what Al Green does, once he gets the notes to like a C sharp 5 or whatever, like, and he does it on some of his higher notes. And now some notes like F5 and stuff like that, like they sound kind of weak and thin, like it almost sounds kind of airy, like it's not very strong to me. But I still feel like once Al Green reaches that high register, in the female register, in his mixed voice, like I think it feels like I think he feels free, and I think he feels unleashed whenever he sings in his mixed voice or whatever. Even though he, just like I said before, I think it's a stylistic choice that Al Green chose in singing in his mid register, because that's what he's basically famous for, is singing in his, mid chest and all that stuff. And let's see. Oh, and by the way, some of the high notes like a G5, and a B flat five, he can sing them, he can hit them better than most females, cause he can sustain it and everything. And let's see. Now his falsetto, it's it's not the best. Like it's decent. Like it's not bad, but it's not very great either. Like his falsetto tend to sound very shouty to me. But I don't think Al Green, doesn't really like singing his falsetto too much. I just think he mostly likes to sing in his mid chest voice, just like I said before. And but that's basically it. Just like I said before, I think that Al Green is a lyric tenor, and in the choir I will place him as second tenor. And some of you may say he's a baritone, and some of you may agree with me, and some of y'all probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But that was my analysis of Al Green, my vocal analysis of him, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and you can follow me on my Twitter at 504 Mark Anthony and all that good stuff. And in the meantime, I will see y'all later because I'm about to go to sleep, y'all. Peace.